Yeah, I've seen all the episodes so far from Miss Marvel, of course. So we've seen a bit of you, heard a lot about you. There's still a lot of mystery surrounding your character and who, well, Aisha really is. Let's put it like this. So
Yeah.
at this point, what can you tell us about your character on the show?
I'm afraid, Matthias, I can't say much apart from the fact that I'm a Jinn and I play the great grandmother of Kamala Khan. But I think you'll have to wait for another episode.
Okay, well, that sounds fair.
I like being mysterious, I like it that way at the
Okay,
moment.
okay. So you are similar to your character, I see.
Very, very.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about the filming. How was the shooting? Did you actually get to shoot in Pakistan, or did you go somewhere else for your scenes?
So we shot parts of it in Pakistan, and for me, most of my scenes were done in Thailand. And yeah, it was a wonderful experience being part of such a big production and such an amazing team and the creators, where I actually lost count of the nationalities that were part of creating this whole magical journey for people to experience. But it was literally a moment of me, literally, like I was sitting there and thinking, wow, I mean, this is all real. And it's just fascinating, the kind of production, the hard work, as well as so many people came together into bringing this show to the people. This was a really fascinating experience for me, I must say. A great learning experience as well.
Nice. This is actually something I want to dig into a little bit. You have done lots of movies over in Pakistan, and now you are in this big Marvel production that's seen everywhere around the planet. So how was the difference, in working on this for you, and or was it maybe actually pretty similar?
So, Matthias, our industry is a very small industry, and it's still in its infancy. So, what we do is whatever resources we have, we try to make the best of it. But when you talk about the biggest franchise in Hollywood, I mean, there is no comparison. But for me, honestly speaking, it does not matter where I am, who I'm with, what I'm working for. Once the camera, the red light of the camera turns on and I'm in front of it, it really doesn't matter. It's the same for me as an artist. It's about me and the character and my relationship with the camera, be it in Pakistan, in the movies here, in the shows here, or in when shooting for Miss Marvel. So I think as an artist, it's always the same, but it's what surrounds it makes so much of a difference. And I must say that there's so much that I learned and so much that I think can be applied and implemented in our part of the world, in our industry, that will bring a lot of improvement into what we do here.
That sounds beautiful, and I must say it's so fascinating and fun to hear you talk about those kind of things. So
Thank you, Matthew.
representation on the show is something that matters a lot. We've seen this in prior Marvel properties, that they are very picky about who works on the whole series and what is in there. So do you think it's all really a good representation of your culture, or is there something a little bit over the top maybe?
Not at all, Matthias. I think, okay, so as an actress from Pakistan and as somebody who has influence and who has a following, I would always get, as a Pakistani and as a Muslim, I always used to get frustrated with the way we were misrepresented on screen in the West, in Bollywood, and the fact that if there would be a Muslim character, they would always be a villain. They would always be the troublemakers. Our women would be the subjugated women. And I think a lot of misconception around us. And I spoke about it on a lot of platforms globally. And when this show was offered to me and I found out about it, I was like, wow, that is an answer to my prayers, something that as a Muslim, as a Pakistani, this is what was needed, because I always asked for a fair for a balanced portrayal. And this show does exactly that. People get to see Muslim culture, people get to understand our struggles, what our cultural norms are. And it's something so refreshing for them, people in the West, where they actually had this perception about us. It just breaks all of those barriers, and it creates this bridge between us, that we're just normal people like anybody else in the world, you know. And the way the authenticity that this show brings, the attention to detail, it's definitely not over the top. If anything, it's really authentic. Even if it's the scenes at the mosque, it's words like Bismillah and Mashallah being used. Did we ever imagine it happening? So it's all happening, and we're headed in the right direction, just what we needed. It's a godsend. And like Nakia being a hijabi and being so proud of it, imagine how many girls is it representing. And 2 billion Muslims are being represented with this show, and a lot of Pakistani culture. Like you see Karachi in the last episode, in the episode that came out just recently. That's my city, and you have no idea what it means to me or people that live here, Karachiites, to see our Clifton Bridge, to see Teen Talwar, to see our beach, and it's literally a dream come true for us. So I couldn't be happier, and it just makes my heart swell with pride. And I just think that Marvel needs to be applauded for their efforts. And I hope this is first of many when it comes to representing us in the fair, balanced portrayal.
That's wonderful. And I heard that Iman Vellani said, well, very similar things about the whole production. Did you get to work with Iman, and how was it? Because she's like quite a newcomer to the whole business. Did you maybe get to learn some things from her as well?
She is a delight. And, you know, when I was working with her, I literally couldn't believe that it was her first project, because she's such a natural in front of the camera. You would just see this 18-year-old just, you know, having it, snapping. She would just pass out, because poor girl would be so tired after all the hard work. She would just be passing out here and there. And then once the red camera light comes and she's in front of the camera, she's such a professional. It just amazes me. And I think, I don't know what she learned from me, but I learned a lot from her. And I actually see my own, you know, youth in her. I see my teenage in her. She's so like me when it comes to being such a professional. I mean, I could actually relate to her and would think, oh, wow, I was like this, just less talkative. I was just like, I would be very shy and very quiet. But I think she's very intelligent. She's very smart. She has great ideas, and the presence and the authenticity that she brings to Kamala Khan's character, I cannot imagine anybody else playing that role. So for me, Kamala Khan is Iman Vellani, and Iman Vellani is Kamala Khan forever. And nice. I'm so proud of her.
I'm afraid our time is already up, but it was
already?
so... I know. It was so much fun. Like, it was very difficult to, well, prepare the interview, because we know, well, nothing about your character, but I could have talked for hours with you. So thank you for your time.
Thank you,
and
Mehwish.
I'm very excited to see the next episode and see where it's heading.
Watch out.